Mark Breland. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about specifically with this fight is, from a trainer's perspective, what should Wilder be looking to do differently? What should his trainers be focusing on going forward? If you were his trainer, what would your game plan be to the best that you can explain it here? I'm just curious from your perspective, what do you think he needs to work on that he actually has the ability to address?
Well, if I was his trainer, I'd fire myself because I obviously haven't taught him. And again, the spears are going to come and the rockers. I mean, the truth is not allowed anymore in life. When it comes at me, it's allowed. I'm not perfect, okay? But if I'm in a position of analyzing and answering questions, I got to do it sometimes in a very straightforward. Sometimes it could be in a harsh way. Sometimes it turns out to be in a very complimentary way. But sometimes it don't, because it's the position you're in to answer the question. The question, not to worry about what agenda you want to keep and whose side you want to be on, how that's going to serve you, and if it's going to be comfortable and convenient. No, if it's the truth. That's why people are listening, to hear that. What you think is the truth. It's only what I think is the truth, for my opinion. But I think that there are a lot of things that he wasn't taught. I've said it before. This ain't news. Ain't new. I've said it before. A lot of things, and he finally paid a price for those things he never got taught. Things he never learned. Other than that he had power. That's not even taught. That's born.
Those are the straight and forward words from Teddy Atlas in regards to what Deontay Wilder what his trainers need to do. And he said the trainers need to fire themselves. Wow. Because they obviously didn't teach him. Okay. So he wasn't taught. Teddy Atlas has said before that Deontay Wilder can't fight. I do agree. I think he has good power. I really have to question that power now, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I think that Teddy Atlas, his opinion is that Wilder wasn't taught, and therefore Mark Breland took him out of that fight because he knew his limitations, right? Now, let me counterpunch, okay? Because I have to disagree with Teddy Atlas, and I'm going to tell you why. Mark Breland has said that Deontay Wilder doesn't listen to him, right? He doesn't listen to him, and therefore, if he doesn't listen, that means that he's taught him something that he's refusing to do, right? So I don't think that it's more so Mark Breland's fault and he needs to, fire himself. Rather, maybe it's Deontay Wilder that just wasn't following instructions. You can teach someone something, but that doesn't mean that they're going to practice it. Now, Wilder himself has went on the bat and said, hey, and he's came out and said, well, you know what? I got away with a lot of stuff, and I skipped a lot of stuff. And I think that, I'm going back to the basics, because remember, right before the Dominic Breazeale fight, he admitted that he got the easy road. But who do you think allowed that to happen? That doesn't necessarily mean that's Mark Breland. That could have been JD's, because JD's was that cheerleader. Yeah, Deontay, yeah, you're doing good. This is after training stuff, And I think JD's is more of a manager, and I think Mark Breland is that trainer. So what ends up happening is Mark Breland ends up getting blasted, or the blame is at him for Deontay Wilder not knowing what he knows. Now, I know Wilder started late in his boxing career and all that, but he did have punching power. They slowly, gradually carried this guy on. And I think in time, he believed in his power based on what he did and how he hit people. Now, mind you, that I want to share something with you with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was the guy, I believe, that sold the idea to Wilder. Wilder knew he had power, but he didn't know he had power like that until he hit Tyson Fury, right? Because Tyson Fury was the one that's co-signed, like, hey, yeah, without a doubt, he is the hardest hitting heavyweight in boxing history. You remember that? And I think he fed that to Wilder, and Wilder ate it up. He ate it all up. Okay, he took the blame for the performance that Tyson Fury had against Otto Wallin, right? Tyson Fury, I think he fed Wilder more things because there's more. He said that, I thought that I was going to die in the ring. I thought that I could be killed by Deontay Wilder's power. That could have just been hype at the end of the day. That could have just been something that he was making Deontay Wilder believe. And Deontay Wilder's already a confident guy, right? He's the baddest man on the planet part 2, right? So he believed it. He believed the hype. And what happened, he went in overconfident. And I feel that he thought that he could go in there because he's already fought Tyson Fury. And he fought Tyson Fury at the ass end of 18, right? This is before the basics. So he said, you know what? Let's skip over the basics. Let's gain a little weight. And let's do what we did before. But what he did before didn't work because Tyson Fury changed his game plan, right? He changed his game plan. He came in and he went in attack mode. He was much more aggressive. He had a different trainer, a different mindset, a different everything. So what Deontay Wilder did was what he knew that he could do or what he was practicing, okay? Not what he knew or what he was taught. I think what he practiced didn't work for him. And I think that between JD's and Mark Breland is the guy that teaches him something. And he's like, okay, if you don't learn, I don't know what to tell you. And I think JD's kind of cosigns or over talks Mark Breland at times and says, oh, you're doing good, Deontay. No, you're good. You're doing good. And I think that Mark Breland is like probably shaking his head like this dude does not listen to me at all. So if he doesn't listen to me, that doesn't mean that Mark Breland, again, hasn't taught him. When a person doesn't listen, you have a student that doesn't listen, right? You can't make that student recite or exercise what you've taught them, but you've taught them. And I think Mark Breland knew when he pulled Wilder out of that fight, he knew that Wilder wouldn't listen to him because he didn't do it the first fight, right? So I think that was the reason why it was like, look, he's not going to listen to me. And he's not going to listen because he didn't listen the first fight, and he's only going to get beat up, so let me take him out. Because I taught him. They didn't say nothing about JD's, if you noticed. They said Mark Breland, okay? And I think Mark Breland is getting, like, the shitty end of the stick with Teddy Atlas because he's just assuming that Wilder wasn't taught that. Doesn't mean he wasn't taught that. It just means that he didn't practice what Mark Breland instructed him, okay? So that's my counterpunch on that, guys. You guys tell me what you think about Teddy Atlas's opinion about Mark Breland. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.